There's a city tucked just north of Detroit where tree-lined streets meet five-star restaurants and million-dollar estates stand just steps away from boutique coffee shops. A place where history echoes through the bricks, and where today, Michigan's most expensive penthouse is redefining what it means to live above it all. Welcome to Birmingham, Michigan. Long before it became a beacon of luxury living, Birmingham, Michigan was nothing more than an untamed stretch of wilderness. Dense forest, winding creeks, and Native American trade routes that would lay the groundwork for what came next. The land that Birmingham now occupies sits along what was once the Saginaw Trail, a critical native footpath that connected Detroit to Saginaw and beyond. That path would later evolve into Woodward Avenue, one of the most iconic thoroughfares in the country and the backbone of Metro Detroit. Following the Treaty of Detroit in 1807, which ceded large parts of southeast Michigan to the U.S. government, land became available for purchase. By 1818, a group of 4 entrepreneurs, Elijah Willits, John Hamilton, John Hunter, and Major Benjamin Kendrick Pierce, saw promise in the area. They didn't come here by accident. These men were visionaries, and they had a plan. Their goal? Create a manufacturing hub that would rival the booming industrial city of Birmingham, England. And with that ambition in mind, they named their settlement Birmingham, a bold declaration in a raw frontier. By the early 1820s, Birmingham was still little more than a mill, a blacksmith shop, and a few log cabins scattered across the wild terrain. But it had the 2 things that every great American town needs: vision and access. The location along the Saginaw Trail meant proximity to Detroit, a port city quickly growing in both size and stature. Birmingham was close enough to benefit from the city's economy, but far enough to offer fresh air, open space, and opportunity. In the 1830s, the arrival of stagecoach routes made Birmingham a key rest stop on the Detroit to Pontiac line. Inns, taverns, and supply shops began to dot the roadside. Then, in 1836, the town was officially platted, a formal declaration that Birmingham was here to stay. But the game changer came in 1839 with the Detroit and Pontiac Railroad, one of the first in Michigan. Suddenly, Birmingham wasn't just a waypoint, it was a destination. Passengers and freight flowed in and out daily. Farmers could ship produce to Detroit markets. Families could commute. And as the 19th century moved into the 20th, Birmingham began its slow, steady transformation from pioneer outpost to a desirable residential enclave. But here's the twist. Birmingham never became the industrial giant those early settlers hoped for. It didn't churn out steel or pump smoke into the sky like its English namesake. Instead, it grew more like a garden, carefully, thoughtfully, with an eye toward beauty and livability. And that decision, to prioritize neighborhoods over factories, walkability over sprawl, and character over conformity, is exactly what shaped Birmingham into the city that we know today. Up next, we'll explore how Birmingham evolved through the 20th century, resisted suburban sameness, and became one of the most desirable places to live in Michigan, and arguably the entire country. By the turn of the 20th century, Birmingham had grown from a sleepy stagecoach stop into a thriving village. But unlike many towns that sprawled recklessly into the suburbs during Detroit's industrial boom, Birmingham took a different approach, one rooted in long-term planning, preservation, and livability. In 1864, Birmingham officially incorporated as a village. It would remain that way for nearly 70 years. Why so long? Because Birmingham didn't want to grow too fast. The focus wasn't on factories or population. It was on community, walkability, and creating a place that people would stay in for generations. As Detroit exploded with the rise of the auto industry, Birmingham became a haven for those seeking distance from the noise, but not from the opportunity. The Detroit and Pontiac Railway, followed by electric streetcars, made commuting possible, and well-to-do families began buying land in Birmingham to build their forever homes. This is where the character of Birmingham really begins to take shape. It was never designed to be a city that you drive through. It was a city that you live in, walk in, and know your neighbors in. In 1933, during the height of the Great Depression, Birmingham took the bold step of incorporating as a city. At a time when many communities were shrinking, Birmingham doubled down on self-determination. It created its own zoning, planning commissions, and a clear architectural vision. And that vision, well, it still guides the city today. Walk through Birmingham's neighborhoods, and you'll see an intentional mosaic of styles. Tudor revivals with slate roofs and timbered facades, classic colonials with symmetrical lines and formal gardens, mid-century ranches from the post-war era, open, low, and sprawling, and tucked into the rail district, former industrial spaces reborn as urban lofts. What ties them all together isn't uniformity, it's harmony. Each home here adds to the story, not subtracts from it. You don't see cookie-cutter subdivisions. You don't see homes being torn down for McMansions. Well, all that often at least. Birmingham has stringent design review boards, and those rules have protected the city's identity for decades. While so many suburbs in America were designed around highways, strip malls, and big box stores, Birmingham was designed around humans. From the earliest planning maps in the 1930s to the walkability initiatives in the 1990s and 2000s, Birmingham has remained people-focused. You can get from one end of downtown to the other without ever needing to cross a major freeway. Streets are narrow, sidewalks are wide, and at the heart of it all, Shane Park, a central green space surrounded by the library, city hall, churches, and shops. It's the kind of place where you bump into your neighbors, not just drive past them. Birmingham may be rooted in tradition, but it's also always looking forward. Take the Rail District, for example. Once home to vacant warehouses and underutilized rail lines, this area has been transformed into a vibrant arts and design corridor. Today, it's full of creative studios, luxury condos, and cutting-edge architecture, all integrated into the city's fabric without losing its historic soul. And now, with new development projects emphasizing green construction, affordable luxury, and mixed-use functionality, Birmingham continues to be a model for how to grow without losing what made it special in the first place. So while other cities chase trends, Birmingham has built something more timeless, a city that reflects both where we've been and where we're going. Coming up next, we'll explore the lifestyle that draws people here from across the country. From the shops and schools to the restaurants and real estate, including how it all stacks up against the world's most elite small cities. Imagine waking up in a city where you can walk to grab coffee, pick up groceries, drop your child at school, browse an art gallery, then meet friends for lunch, all without starting your car. In Birmingham, that's not a fantasy, that's just a Tuesday. Birmingham was walkable long before walkability was a buzzword. This is a city where the sidewalk is sacred, where streets were built narrow on purpose, where parallel parking buffers pedestrians, and where every corner leads to something new. A boutique shop, cozy brunch spot, or a hidden pocket park. Birmingham's downtown district covers just a fraction of the city's footprint, but it holds a world of culture, commerce, and connection. Over 1,000 businesses operate within the city's borders, ranging from local artisan shops to nationally acclaimed brands. Let's walk a mile in the shoes of a Birmingham resident. It might start with a latte from Commonwealth Cafe, followed by a stroll to Shane Park, where your dog greets every passerby like an old friend. You'll pass Art Deco architecture, Tudor-style storefronts, and banners promoting everything from jazz concerts to charity 5Ks. On the way home, you might swing by Market Square for produce or grab lunch from Townhouse, Forest, or the French Lady, all before the afternoon even begins. This isn't just about convenience, it's about quality of life. There's a reason people compare Birmingham to Carmel by the Sea or downtown Aspen. Everything is close. Everything is clean, and you don't just feel safe, you feel seen here. Culture is baked into the sidewalks of Birmingham. Throughout the year, the city plays host to the Birmingham Art Fair, concerts in the park, and programming at the Community House, a local institution that dates all the way back to 1923. Just up the road, the Birmingham Bloomfield Arts Center offers year-round exhibitions and workshops, nurturing creativity at every age. And then there's the Birmingham Theater, built in 1927. Its classic marquee still lights up Old Woodward every night, a reminder that while Birmingham embraces progress, it never forgets its past. Birmingham doesn't stop at downtown. The city boasts over 26 parks and green spaces, each with their own personality. From the peaceful trails at Corton Lake to the creative play structures at Booth Park to the winding paths of the Rouge River Trail System, nature is always just a few steps away. In fact, nearly 20% of Birmingham's land is dedicated to public parks and green space. You don't just live in Birmingham, you move through it, on your feet, on a bike, with intention. That's the power of good design. Birmingham's walkability isn't just about charm, it's a long-term investment in sustainability, local economy, and community resilience. When cities are built for people, not cars, businesses thrive, residents engage, and the entire city becomes more alive. In a world where so many places feel designed to move through quickly, Birmingham invites you to slow down, to stay a while, and to connect. So what kind of people are drawn to this kind of lifestyle? In the next chapter, we'll meet the residents, from CEOs and creatives to young families and retired executives, and take a closer look at Birmingham's evolving demographics, real estate trends, and how it compares to the most affluent communities in the world. Spoiler, it's totally holding its own. If Birmingham feels like it was built for a certain kind of person, That's because it was. This city has attracted everyone from auto execs to creative entrepreneurs, from legacy families to newcomers looking for something rare, a place that balances luxury, community, and walkability without losing its soul. Back in the 1950s, Birmingham was primarily a residential suburb for white-collar professionals working in Detroit's booming auto industry. But over time, as Detroit's economy shifted, so did Birmingham's identity, becoming less about where you worked and more about how you lived. Fast forward to today, and Birmingham is home to a highly educated, upwardly mobile, and increasingly diverse population. As of 2025, the population is roughly 21,800 individuals, with a median age of 42 years old, with 61% of the residents having a bachelor's degree or higher, and the median household income of $145,000 plus. The median home value here is currently $925,000 and climbing. Birmingham is also seeing a rise in younger professionals moving in, especially couples in their 30s and early 40s, drawn by the city's combination of walkability, schools, and social life. At the same time, long-established families and retirees remain deeply rooted here, lending the community both stability and intergenerational texture. There's this beautiful mix happening here. You've got founders working remotely from home while their kids play in the park across the street. And 3 doors down is a couple who's lived here since 1971 and remembers when the entire block was a hardware store. Birmingham isn't just affluent, it's interconnected. But that demand comes at a price. Literally, the median home value in Birmingham has risen nearly 35% over the past 5 years alone. Detached single-family homes in top neighborhoods like Corton Lake, Little San Fran, or Holy Name can easily fetch $1.2 to say $3 million. Downtown lofts and new construction townhomes are pushing way past the $1 million mark with regularity. And then, of course, there's an outlier. The pinnacle of Birmingham luxury real estate, the Balmoral Penthouse, which we'll walk you through shortly. But even outside the ultra high-end listings, the market is competitive. Inventory is low, buyer demand remains strong, and nearly all properties receive multiple offers, especially those within walking distance to downtown. The average number of days on market here is about 14 to 21 days, with an average list-to-sale ratio between 98 and 102% of the list price, and 76% of the homes in Birmingham are owner-occupied homes. Here's where it gets interesting. Birmingham isn't just elite by Michigan standards, it holds its own on a national and even international scale when it comes to livability, affluence, and value retention. Let's compare. Now, you might not see Birmingham on every global luxury list, but that's exactly what makes it special. This isn't a city that flaunts its wealth. It wears it subtly. It's not about gated compounds or paparazzi-proof hedges. It's about polished living with deep roots, about being known without being noticed. Ask anyone who lives here what they love most about Birmingham, and they probably won't say the price per square foot. They'll talk about how it feels to live here, the way you can walk your kids to school, the way your neighbors wave, even if they don't know your name, the way downtown smells like espresso and spring flowers in the morning and feels like a jazz soundtrack on warm summer nights. This city offers more than real estate. It offers belonging. Coming up next, we'll explore what it's like to actually live in Birmingham, the food, the fun, the weekend rituals. And we'll finally introduce you to the Balmoral Penthouse, the crown jewel of Birmingham real estate, perched high above Woodward Avenue, redefining Michigan luxury. And trust me, you're going to want to see inside this one. Luxury isn't just a price tag, it's a lifestyle. And in Birmingham, Michigan, that lifestyle is elevated, refined, and deeply personal. You can feel it in the morning air as you walk through the park with a fresh almond croissant. You hear it in the clink of glassware at a summer rooftop party. You live it every time you step outside and realize you don't need to go anywhere else to feel completely at home. Let's start with food, because Birmingham doesn't play when it comes to dining. In just a few blocks, you'll find Madame inside the Daxton Hotel, where modern American cuisine meets art gallery ambiance. Adachi, an award-winning sushi experience inside a 1920s mansion. Forest, offering fine dining with a global edge. Hazel's, for seafood flown in daily, or chicken and waffles with champagne. And of course, countless cafes, bakeries, wine bars, and brunch staples that turn weekends into events. This isn't just good for Michigan. This is legit. Food critics from Chicago, New York, even Toronto have come through here and left impressed. Shopping here leans boutique, not big box. You'll find curated style, not endless racks. Places like Tender, one of Michigan's most exclusive women's fashion retailers, Caruso for designer denim and modern classics, and a constantly rotating mix of pop-up shops, design studios, and luxury skincare brands. It's retail therapy with taste and without pretense. But luxury in Birmingham isn't just about things you can buy. It's about experiences that enrich your life. The Birmingham Theater isn't just a movie house. It's an experience. With velvet seats, vintage charm, and carefully curated films. The Community House offers lectures, gallery events, and everything from wine tasting to dance classes. The Art Center and local galleries like Robert Kidd expose residents to world-class creators in intimate settings. It's not flashy, it's not loud, it's the kind of wealth that whispers and invites you into something deeper. Now let's zoom out. How does Birmingham compare to the global enclaves known for luxury and quality of life? Greenwich, Connecticut gives you hedge fund energy and estate homes, but not much walkability. Aspen is stunning, but seasonal and less accessible. Soho in NYC is artsy and walkable, sure, but comes with chaos. Carmel by the Sea is quiet, charming, but limited in urban appeal. Notting Hill in London, gorgeous. But good luck affording 1,500 square feet there. In Birmingham, you get that same tier of refinement with the added benefit of affordability relative to other world-class cities, accessibility to a major metro, and the safety, community, and charm that global capitals just can't manufacture. Tech entrepreneurs zooming with West Coast teams, retired auto execs enjoying the slower pace they once dreamt about, Midwest creatives and C-level execs who could live anywhere and choose Birmingham, parents who want their kids to grow up around ideas, safety, and design thinking. It's aspirational, but it's also grounded. But even within this exceptional city, there is one address that stands above the rest, literally. A home that redefines what it means to live well in Michigan, where prestige, privacy, and panoramic views collide at the top of it all. Welcome to the Balmoral Penthouse. And up next, we're going inside. And the man behind it all? Well, he's standing right here with me. Lou DeRosier, internationally recognized architect, third-generation master of design. You've built landmark buildings, skyscrapers, and waterfront estates. But this penthouse, this feels personal. Lou crafted a residential experience in the sky, a piece of architecture that lives and breathes with the city. From the moment the elevator doors open into your private foyer, you're greeted by clean lines, custom textures, and views that stretch all the way to Detroit's skyline. The heart of this space, a dramatic open concept living room centered around a show-stopping 80-inch water vapor fireplace. The fireplace sets the tone for everything around it. The chef's kitchen blends sleek European design with full functionality. We have a full suite of Wolf appliances, motorized soft-close cabinetry, underlit countertops. Whether you're preparing a gourmet dinner party or just pouring cereal in your robe, every space here is beautiful, even when it's not being used. And that's when design truly reveals itself. This primary suite feels like a 7-star hotel. I mean, just look how big this bedroom is, and look at those views of Woodward Avenue. Let's talk materials. We've got 120-inch by 60-inch Bianco marble slab tiles that line the wall, a freestanding 12-jet soaking tub that sits in the corner like a sculpture. Floor-to-ceiling glass surrounds the oversized rainfall shower. Honestly, I've toured hundreds of luxury homes, and I've never seen a space that feels like this. With 3 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, and a plethora of living areas, this penthouse adapts to any lifestyle. Need a guest wing? A meditation room? A home office? Or a podcast studio? It's all possible, and powered by smart tech. Sonos sound integration, Lutron Cassetta lighting, Nest thermostats, 4K LED frame televisions, surveillance with remote access, all seamlessly integrated. This isn't just a home, it's a thinking machine with walls. And then there's this, a 2,000 square foot private rooftop terrace, completely yours. This is the part where words start to fail. You could throw a wedding up here, you could do yoga at sunrise, host rooftop film nights, or just sit here with a drink and feel, well, completely still. And let's not forget, this penthouse includes a private heated garage with direct elevator access to your living room. Only one other residential unit in this entire building as well. The Balmoral itself includes ground floor commercial tenants, offering boutique services and amenities, all a short walk from downtown Birmingham's shopping, dining, and culture. You don't just live at the Balmoral, you reign from it. If you're ready to experience Michigan's most exclusive penthouse, if you're looking for a home that's not just elevated in design, but elevated in every sense of the word, schedule your private showing. Come stand here and see how high life can really go. Birmingham, Michigan isn't just one of the best places to live in the Midwest, it's one of the best kept secrets in the entire country. It's a city built with intention, shaped by visionaries, preserved by those who understand the value of story, soul, and community. Over the years, this quiet suburb has been home to some of the most recognizable names in the world. Supermodel and actress Kate Upton not only grew up just minutes from downtown Birmingham, she also lived here with her husband, Justin Verlander, who, of course, was one of the most dominant pitchers in the MLB and played for the Detroit Tigers. Then we have Dylan Larkin, the Detroit Red Wings captain and hometown hero, who has been spotted around town before training sessions. Comedian Tim Allen, best known for Home Improvement and Toy Story, once called this community home. And actress Kristen Bell, known for The Good Place and Frozen, has always spoken proudly of her Birmingham roots. Even the late Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul, had ties to Birmingham. These aren't just celebrities, they're people who could live anywhere in the world and chose to stay close to Birmingham. Because when you know what you want, quality, privacy, beauty, character, there's only a handful of places in the country that deliver it all. Birmingham is one of them. From historic streets and timeless architecture, to sidewalk cafes and skyline penthouses. From community concerts to curated art shows, to schools that shape tomorrow's leaders, and homes that feel like living history. Birmingham isn't just a destination, it's a declaration of how life should be lived. And for those lucky enough to walk these streets, raise families here, or even take in the view from the top of the Balmoral, you already know, you don't just live in Birmingham, you belong here. If you're ready to make Birmingham your home, or you want to experience the pinnacle of Michigan luxury for yourself, reach out. I'm Chris Hubble, and this has been your inside look at one of the Midwest's most iconic cities, and one of the most exclusive homes ever built in Michigan. Subscribe for more luxury listings, historic homes, and real estate storytelling that you won't find anywhere else. Until next time, remember, every home has a story. Let's discover yours.